today's news, there's nothing pretty intense that's going to affect us today. So we should have a good runway for the day. And it's a Friday, of course, so you want to ensure that you don't take aggressive risks. You want to try and avoid going all in. So let's see what we can find for the day. We haven't really had an awesome week. It's been break even, stop losses. So yeah, but that happens in the market. You just have to ensure your risk management can withstand any losing streak, whichever one you wanna look at. And something beautiful came today, so soon you guys will be able to have access to our risk calculator. So yeah, good times ahead. Good times ahead. Yesterday's trades were pretty bad. I think all of them literally went the opposite direction. Okay, anyway. I see you guys want us to look at Euro USD. Oh, I see OC wants us to make a video on the proper trade management with the risk management tool and the stop loss. Okay, we'll take a look at that. We've got our own one, which we were actually just taking a look at now. This one right here. So keep following us to see when it comes out. And it does the job for you, so you don't really have to keep adjusting stops, keep adjusting TPs and trailing. Once you're in a stop order, triggers, adjust your stop, adjust your TPs, and it just keeps going. So that's a pretty beautiful tool. Still have to keep developing it, of course. And then once we are done with that, we will be on track to play around with it. Okay, I don't know if it's just me or what, but is anybody else struggling with TradingView this morning? It's misbehaving today. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Start with Euro USD. It's a Friday, guys, so try and be smart, trade well, and believe me, man, your forex journey will be beautiful, man. It'll be beautiful. Remove all. So every morning I do start by removing all my alerts, new day, new setups. This morning for me, other guys different time zones, but literally right before the London Open, I remove every single idea that I had the previous day. While I double check it if it's still valid or not, and then I take it from there. So that's how I usually trade for the day, and it's been working quite well. And because we are high RR traders, very tight stops, we will get stopped out. And once you do get stopped out, you just ensure that your risk is on point. And if your risk is on point, you will definitely be able to trade effectively for the long term. Remember, we're not here for the short term. We're not here for quick trades. We're here to make sure that you can actually make a living off trading. And that takes a lot of work, especially psychologically. You know how many people cry after having a couple of losses? Yep, a lot. There's a quote I posted, actually, if you're following on Instagram, that talks about how if you can manage your downside, you don't really have to worry about the upside. And that's it. The upside will take care of itself. And that's how we essentially trade. Okay. So here, Euro USD, probably looking at a short position. And like I said, tight stops using the previous candles. We took this from the daily. And the risk management, what the risk management does, and this is answering one of the questions that you guys had on the side there, it allows you to keep taking the stops accordingly. So what you're going to wait for here you will be waiting for price to get into the zone, usually 50% into it, and then you'll place a sell stop, and then you wait for price to drop down, and then once it hits 1R, which should be somewhere here, you move your stop to break even, and then once it hits 2R, you close half of the position, and then 5R you move stop to 1R, 2R, sorry about that, and then yeah, you just keep going. So these rules, and they change. I mean, I change them probably every day based on what the market is showing me, what I see. But ideally, what you'd want to do is to keep moving your stop as your price keeps moving. So that's where that tool I just showed you is coming into play. It'll do all that for you. So this is about it. The original exit mode that we were using was 3R, which is something that we are looking at ensuring that we stick to, we implement. This is the original one, by the way. So if you are in the VIP or the free signals, you'd notice how now we move at 2R. So this is how the Euro USD would look. So essentially you'll have 4 positions, give or take. Now, if you don't have access to the calculator, I don't know how MT4 or MT5 works, but somebody mentioned that you can do this with the mobile versions. But what you can do is you can separate the positions. So if you've got 4 trades, same stop, same entry, but different TPs, 1, 2, 3, 4, then it'll do the job for you. The trick now will just be, as you keep adjusting the stops, you'll adjust it 4 times, which is a bit of a tedious job, but that's the nature of the game. You have to do all the manual work before you can perfect any system. Awesome. And then somebody wants us to look at let's see, GJ, let's see what the GJ has in store for us. There we go. Let me know how the trades go, guys. So if you took some of the trades from yesterday's live, just let me know how they go, and then we'll take it from there. I usually don't keep track of the trades that I'm not monitoring, which are some of the ones that you guys just gave out now, unless I see it a bit later, and then I'd mark it, and then I'd know about it. But then if not, then I wouldn't. So with this pair, I think we saw this yesterday as well, where the levels are just too close to each other. So you might find price either hitting this zone and then coming back down here, or you might find it hitting the zone here at the top and then coming back down. So that's something that does happen, of course. You just have to find a way to manage it when it does happen, and keep your emotions in check. Keep your emotions in check at all times. One of the guys that helped me develop this position size calculator, there's actually a bit of a fail switch that we put in there, which is pretty smart, where every single time price moves in your direction, the stop keeps getting tighter. So once price, say for example, price moves 20-30% into your position, and then the stop loss would reduce. And then once price moves 50%, stop loss would reduce. And then once it gets to 1R, your stop loss is a break even, and then it follows the Shifu way of exiting, which makes it beautiful. Oh, and also for the revenge traders, man, I love that feature. So those people that like losing a trade and then all of a sudden want to jump into the next one immediately, it'll block you from doing that, and then it'll ensure that you wait at least an hour or so before you can make another trade. And also your maximum loss per week, it caps it, it does calculate it for you. So because we do a 1% a day maximum loss, if you do go above that, it won't allow you to trade. It will literally block you from trading. You'll trade again the next day. So those are just some risk management tools that I've been trying to get out there, which will really save a lot of people. Because believe me, it's not really much about the strategy, but more about your psychology in the strategy. So the strategy, I mean, you can have like for example, the strategy that we're following, you can literally have a 30%, 25% win rate and still be profitable just by applying the rules. That's it. So imagine if you're hitting a 70%, 60% win rate, man, you'll be unstoppable. So this is how GJ would look. 3R, 5R, 8R, 10R, or 2R, 5R, 8R, 10R. So I manage it accordingly. And then I see someone ask me how much the coaching is. Just check the website. We've got the Bootcamp there, which is, there's like 3 versions of it, which all have different levels. So yeah, that's where you basically learn everything that we do, bigger than what you're seeing right now. So this is literally just the tip of the iceberg. And then I see someone wants us to look at the US 30. US 30, yeah. I don't know if the trade triggered yesterday. We had an analysis on this yesterday. I don't know if it triggered anything. Probably on the other chart. I think so. I think it's probably on the Thursday. It's probably on this chart. Now I'll open it on the other pair and then, oh yeah, there we go. On the other chart layout. I'm not sure if it triggered or not. Oh yeah, it did. So those that got this trade yesterday, yeah, man, you're looking at 10R. I didn't even see this. But now wouldn't have, because it probably triggered after the time I was trading. So if you're following the rules, let me see. If you're following the rules, let's see if you would have been kicked into the trade. So remember, we enter the trade at the 50% retracement. It didn't trigger. Anne-Marie says it didn't trigger. Let's see. There we go. I don't know how that played out. Okay, so it should have triggered. I don't know, I didn't. Because you can see the 50% level is right here at the, let's see, 35,176. So I don't know, Anne. I don't know if it triggered or not. But yeah, if it did, awesome, and if it didn't, too bad. So usually what you do, let me make this slight. Let me remove all the color and just make it a bit. Let's go to the 1 hour actually. So usually what you do in this case, I'm just gonna zoom into the stop loss range so you guys can see, just so you can apply this properly. So what you do in this instance, once price gets into your level, you'd watch price move a bit higher. You want it past 50% of the stop loss range, and then once it gets to this level, you place a sell stop using this entries, of course, and that stop, and then you wait for price to come and tank into the zone, going all the way down. I'm actually going to ask that in the VIP if anybody got this. There we go. But I know that if you have 2 losses in a row, you stop trading. You really stop trading. Doesn't matter how beautiful a setup looks. Yeah, I think that's probably how I missed it as well. And at the time, because it's 5 p.m. GMT, which is around 7 p.m. our time, so we've not caught this trade. But the beauty is we've got the bot now running, so regardless what time it happens, it's going to post the alert in the signals, so you'll be able to catch such trades regardless of whether you're monitoring it or not. So essentially, you don't really need the premium version anymore, because all the alerts will be filtering into the channel. Anyway, next one, what are we looking at? US 30. Let's see what today has in store for US 30. Still looks the same. You're probably still looking at the same target level. Still looking to enter at the top here. But now there's a bit of an area here that would look interesting as well. But now the problem would be this candle, which is not ideal for us. And then switching down to the 1 hour. Switching down to the 1 hour. Yeah, I do not like this area at all. But yeah, switching to the 1 hour, probably looking at an entry between either of these 2 candles. Let's go to this one and then drop down to the 15 as well and just see if you can't get a proper entry level drop onto the 5-minute. There we go. Yep, there we go. We've got a nice stop loss range now. Switch back to the 15, and then get the setup in there. And remember, guys, another way of taking these trades is to ensure that you're targeting the 10R. So what you do is, this will tell you that the stop loss is too big, but some people don't really mind. I mind, so I'll drop it 50% fib into it, just so I can get myself that nice stop loss range. If it doesn't get there, then that's just too bad. You'll wait for the next trade. So that's how it would look on the buy side. And then on the sell side, you're looking at this level here at the top, which I have marked. But now let's just find the candle that would use. There's a 15. And then my toolbars got scrambled up big time. No, that's the short right there. There we go. So we'd look at something similar to this. There we go. So it looks a little like that. So this is how this setup would look. So the reason why we're targeting your 10 Rs and so forth, it's I mean, chances are you probably hit 50% of the trip, if not maybe 30%. But the minimum that it hits, you'd have bagged some pips. Unlike targeting 3R and you only hit 1R, so your win rate will start affecting you. There we go. So that's how the US30 looks. And then what else do we have? What else do we have? GN. Someone wants us to look at GN. Yes, Justin, we need to hit the 600. We really need to hit the 600 mark. We are growing, guys. We're growing. Our community is growing quite well. GBP start again at the top. Somebody asked me about the bootcamp. Okay, so on the daily, we don't really have a good point of entry. So usually when I see these wicks, I really start not looking deep into the trade or into the potential trade. But it's the market, guys. If you drop down to the 1 hour, you could potentially find a good entry. But now the issue that you'll be facing with now is the chance of you getting wicked out. For example, with GN here on the hourly chart, there's a pretty interesting move that you'd probably look at. Something along these ranges. The guys that are in the VIP signals, there's some beautiful things coming. You'll notice how from either Monday or Wednesday, you'll start seeing different types of setups in lower time frames as well. But I will advise that if you're going to be trading those setups, you'll probably need to be on their screen or be alert, because they'll probably move very quickly. But targeting the same, we're always targeting maximum Rs. So one of the positions that are taken on that strategy, I mean, it went up to I think it was a 35R. So we just needed it to be proper before we can start sharing it. Okay, so since we're looking at a lower time frame, now we went all the way up to a 1 minute. Now you start having those ridiculously tight stops, which if you have a bad broker with high spreads, you will not survive. You will get kicked out most of the time. But now if you do get the move right, you will be very happy. So this is how it would look on the hourly. And then looking at the top part as well, I'll just show you guys what I mean. saying this is a pretty tight move. The stop on this one, it's 1.7 pips, 1.9 pips, give or take. The stop at the top, we're looking at 3.3. Very nice stops, but like I said, these would need some pretty good momentum for you to get in. So you'd find price moving up, and then you want it when it smashes down, it goes aggressively. That's how you'd probably get a trade like this. So there we go. GN looking pretty decent. And then NAS 100. Everybody loves the NAS 100. Richard asked me, how do I choose where to draw the lines? So I'm using key zones, auto blocks, looking at the imbalances, looking at liquidity as well. So it's things like that that I don't really mark out. But yeah, just see them. Let me just show you this, guys. This is the bootcamp. So we've got this white belt, monthly it's like 169. You just get the strategy, what I'm using now, how to do it, how to apply it. You get the calculator, of course, and then you get your performance report. And then you also get access to the morning lives and the VIP signals. And then the brown belt, it's a bit more intense, more sessions, more one-on-ones. And then the black belt, of course, this is the beauty. This is the flagship. So this calculator that we just did now, the position size manager, will be getting into this black belt, probably the Dojo Bootcamp brown belt as well. But yeah, we are looking into that. And then the US 100. Let's see what we've got on the US 100. US 100. There we go. What the US 100. So with the US 100, switching to the daily. Okay, we really got that move. Man, I've been waiting for that move for a while, guys. The move that we caught like 2 days ago, the 16R, I've been waiting for that for a while because I've been watching this do this. So the second you start seeing something like this, you start noticing a lot is happening here. So I'm just waiting for it to be taken out. Usually I'll be targeting these levels here, but it doesn't reach there. I see it's going back up again. So we caught this move. And we also caught this one actually. And the beauty is also one of them was caught, but because of the tight stops, by the time it went back up, we were out of the trade. We got our 3R, we got our pips, and we were gone. So now I see it starting to do the same thing again. So on the daily, we've got this move here at the top, of course. And then if you start looking at getting into the trade, okay, let's go to the hourly. Richard is asking, why am I concerned? Yeah, that's where the bootcamp comes in. But yeah, so this is where we are. US 100, I think one thing I love about the US 100, and I never really liked it at all. Guys, I do not like indices because of the way they move. Once you get the move, you get a very nice move. But if you don't, you will definitely be crying. So, okay, not bad. Look at all these auto blocks here. So with this one, not auto block, imbalances, you start seeing all these things here, and they start showing you guys a room for a return trip, which is what happened here. So they were created, and then this return trip came, closes imbalance, and then created other ones here as well, closed them again, and then there was this massive one which is closed. So now there's these ones that are currently forming. So what I am expecting this to do is to give us a nice trip to the top, probably closing this one or this one, but it's safer to get it at the top of the auto block and then dropping down again. And then somebody asked, why don't I take a buy? It's because I don't trade from any other areas but the key levels. So that's how I'm trying to ensure that every single move you take has a lot of momentum, which is why if you check out our signals, when we get kicked out, we get kicked out bad, because it means the momentum is opposite, but it's strong. So we just want to be on the right side of that strong move. So that's the beauty about doing what we do. As much as I'm expecting price to go up, I wouldn't trade it just yet, because of the key off areas. I mean, if I was to take a long position, let me just show you where I would want to take it from. It would have to be from around, not even this area, it's not strong enough, from around these areas. So I'd need price to basically consolidate first, forming a bit of a bottom for me, and then waiting for all those breakout traders to do that, get kicked out, come back down. So I'd wait for it to do that. Once they get kicked out, triggers me in, doesn't have to go to the top. If it turns at the middle here, I'd have taken 5R, 3R, doesn't really matter. But yeah, so we're trying to take high probability trades. That's what we are looking at. I think that's about it, guys. We are 24 minutes before the London Open. I'll be dropping some of the pairs so the guys can see. And the beauty is today we are doing the bot today is going live, so you will get alerts when it's time to place a stop, which is beautiful. You will get alerts when price gets into the area, so you can get set up, of course, and wait for it if we can place the stop order. So that's how the US 100 would look. And that's about it, guys. Hope I've answered some of your questions. And happy trading, guys. Anything else you need, drop it on my Telegram, drop an inbox on our website, and we'll be perfect. Happy trading, fellas.